Welcome to this explainer. We're going to break down a really simple story that had a massive, life-changing impact on someone who just happened to overhear it.
So, how is that even possible? How can a simple story completely flip someone's world upside down? Well, we're going to look at a tale that shows exactly that. It's a story so powerful it turned a man living in total luxury into a celebrated saint. And it all kicks off in a pretty unexpected place.
Our story begins in a royal palace, which sounds familiar enough. But we're not going to focus on the king or the queen, not right away anyway. Instead, we're zooming in on the daily grind of a queen's devoted maid.
So, every single day, her main job was to get the queen's bed ready. And we're not just talking about fluffing a few pillows here. This was a whole process, making it absolutely spotless, arranging everything perfectly, and even spraying it with perfume. Total perfection.
But, after one particularly long and grueling day, she was just completely wiped out. And as she's standing there, looking at this perfect, inviting bed, temptation and pure exhaustion start to bubble up.
She just couldn't help it. The thought pops into her head. What would it actually feel like to sleep on a bed like this? To feel that kind of comfort, even just for a minute. And that was it. That was the tipping point. The cool air in the room, her bone-deep exhaustion, it was just too much to fight. She laid down and boom. Instantly, she was out cold, in a deep, deep sleep. But of course, this little moment of weakness, it wasn't going to stay a secret. It was discovered, and the punishment was way, way harsher than she ever could have imagined.
Right on cue, the queen herself walks into the room, and when she sees her maid asleep on the royal bed, she doesn't see a tired worker. Oh no. She sees a massive insult, a line that has been crossed, and she is absolutely enraged.
The queen's anger led to a really fast and brutal punishment. The sentence? 60 lashes with a whip. Not a warning, not getting fired, but 60 lashes. You can just imagine it. As the punishment is happening, the maid is screaming in agony, begging for mercy, pleading for it to stop. But the queen, she's not having it. No pity at all.
And right here, this is where the whole story just takes a hard left turn. Something happens that no one could have possibly seen coming. In the middle of all this pain, something inside the maid just shifts. Her cries, her pleas for mercy, they just stop. Silence.
Now this is the really wild part. What replaces the crying isn't more screaming, it's laughter. Actual, out-loud laughter, which, you can imagine, completely baffled everyone in the room, especially the queen.
So the queen, who is now probably more confused and shocked than angry, just demands to know what's going on. Why are you laughing? How could anyone laugh through this?
And the maid's answer? Wow. This is the absolute core of the story. She looks at the queen and basically says, look, I got 60 lashes for a few moments of comfort. You get this comfort every single night of your life. Just imagine what kind of punishment is waiting for you. She completely reframes the whole situation.
So, the maid's words were like a dagger, right? Super powerful. But their true, world-changing impact was actually felt by someone who wasn't even there.
So the tale of what happened, the maid, the queen, the lashes, the comeback, it started to get told around town. And as luck would have it, it reached the ears of a man named Sapu Sahab, who was known for being incredibly wealthy and living a life of total comfort.
And this right here just shows the incredible power of a story. For Sapu Sahab, this wasn't just some interesting piece of gossip. It was a lightning bolt. Hearing it made him stop and rethink his entire life, his wealth, his purpose. And so, he just left it all behind.
He literally abandoned all this stuff, gave up that life of luxury, and dedicated himself to a spiritual path. Over time, he became this well-known, revered holy man, famous by the name Khat Baba. And it all started because he overheard one simple story.
So the big takeaway here is pretty clear, right? A moment of real wisdom can come from the most unexpected person in the most unexpected place, and it can totally change everything. It kind of makes you wonder, what little stories or moments in our own lives might be holding some deeper truth, just waiting for us to really listen?